Alright, what's going on everybody? LK here. This is gonna be like a little bit of a rant. I've kind of been like bouncing this idea in my head a little bit, and I want to talk about why they're not gonna nerf characters the way that you want them to. And this actually started back in DBFZ. If you don't know, one of the last teams I played, lovely good old Dragon Ball Fighters, was Gotenks, Master Roshi with his DP assist. I think that's never coming back, unfortunately. And Z Broly with A assist. I mean, Broly was just on people's shit list. Like, people just hate Broly. Just hate Broly, hate Broly, hate Broly. A few months after Season 3 came out, Ultra Instinct Goku came out, and people like, he was another villain they added to the game of people just hating the character and hating what they did to him. So after Nationals that year, I mean, this is during the pandemic, so they did do like a special event, and it was like a regional event, an invite-only event, where it was like an 8-week round robin. It was really interesting, and I was very lucky to be able to play in this event. After this, though, they patched the game, kind of like a soft patch, and the main things people were looking for were for Z Broly and UI Goku to get nerfed. Now, UI Goku actually got meaningful nerfs. Like, he was still a very strong character. I do remember him still being considered top tier after that patch, but no one was saying he was top 1 anymore. But the real villain was Broly, because they didn't nerf Broly at all. They didn't really do anything to Broly, actually. They just left him alone. So the thing is, at the time, you'll probably find this clip if you dig it up. There's a clip of me talking about why I think, I should say, Broly was the most fair top tier out of all the top tiers. If this happens to you, okay? Wait a second. If this happens to you, you gotta play it. Real talk. If this fucking happens to you, you have to hold that. You actually have to hold that. That motherfucker guessed, bro. There is a long list of reasons, but the most important one, and the one that applies, that's probably gonna just continue to apply in fighting games from then to now and like just however long. If you think about it, from the dev perspective, it's fair. So when you think about it, characters like GT Goku, Labco 21, Happy Chaos, like, that stuff is rare. And what I mean is, like, these things coming together to have the character be like that is not common. And I mean, people knew Labcoat from the jump, and people felt GT Goku from the jump. HCU was a little bit more of like things had to come together for him to become like that. Modern top tiers are kind of a lesser evil in that generally they win with stuff that's like interactable. Like, no matter how stupid you think it is, you can always technically respond to what they're doing. I'll give you a couple examples of different characters. I want to start with Broly, of course. So specifically talking about his main way that he wins when he's rushing you down, which he has the armor grab or he continues pressure. So the main thing about this grab in particular is that there's armor on it, which means you can't do normal things you would do to other command grabs, like normal defensive techniques. So for example, one common defensive technique you could use against a command grab would be to delay mash or fuzzy mash, whatever you want to call it. Master Roshi's command grab is not that fast, so you can delay a mash in a spot and you'll be fine. You can get a full combo. But in Broly's case, if you do this, he just grabs you anyway. You would have to try your best to mash through it. So for this example, I just had no chance if I delay. You essentially have to just do something as fast as possible. And usually it's a character specific answer too. Like, I would have to do something like that. I wouldn't be able to do, let's say, any type of delay mashing option. He has something special, shout out to Gotenks, but most characters, they don't have responses like that. So you're generally forced to use other type of defensive techniques that might be a little bit more obscure to you, like delay jumping, delay super dashing, things like that. So even though you can't react to his mix-up, and his mix-up leads into a really strong situation for a lot of damage, despite that, the point is there's a point of interaction on his offense. He doesn't really have like good left-rights, he can't high-low you. The main way he attacks you is with this strike throw game that has the little asterisk, the little caveat of you can't delay counterattack. You have to either pick something invincible or pick some other system mechanic to fight back against it that he's good at fighting against.
compare this to old school GT, or even my own character, Gotenks, after some development. With the Master Roshi assist, I had access to high-low. I could protect myself with the assist when I hit you off just like whatever. Once he gets started, he gets a combo. Let's just do a simple combo just for the sake of ease. We do this into ghosts. There are like several different ghost setups, and when these hit, you can go into routing, which makes the ghost whiff, so then you can combo into Galactic Donut and then get all the meter back and do it again if you don't already kill them, because in an ideal Gotenks team, you would just kill them. I know at the current point we're at in the game, this is much weaker, but this is something he's been able to do the entirety of Season 3. This is a tactic that won Season 1 also. And the main reason we saw him fall off in Season 2 was just because of the meter penalty change, along of course with his mix-up getting weakened. GT Goku comes in with really good damage, really good corner carry, can combo his level 3 Spirit Bomb into level 1 if he wants, or can go into a 4-way mix-up that kills you basically. And generally in Dragon Ball, one real common theme of Dragon Ball is that the devs want you to feel like you could do something about what's happening. And he has situations where you could not do stuff about what's happening, which is incredibly strong. That is a lot different than Broly, who essentially his main offense, especially solo, requires commitment. Even though strong, requires commitment. And the defender can interact with it. For Strive, of course, we can look at Leo Whitefang and Nagoriyuki. Two characters that have... Nago is maybe a little bit argument, but Leo is definitely one of the characters that has been considered top tier basically since the game's beta. And while these characters are both top tier, just like the Broly example, their offense, while incredibly strong, does leave room for the defender to do stuff. Like the defender can fight back against what they're doing. In Neo's case, we'd have to talk about back turret, I think. So depending on how he knocks you down, he may not even really be able to 50-50 you. And because of system mechanics like FD and things, you can mitigate a lot of his offense in this mode. Without using faultless defense, it will definitely feel like he's just mixing you non-stop though. And then we have Nago, who basically has no high-low to speak of outside of system mechanics, right? The classic tap does. But the threat of his command grab is massive. And if he hits you this command grab, you probably are not winning that round. It's pretty stressful to get hit by his command grab. And the threat of conversion ability, plus how air movement works in this game, and how like most characters don't have like anti-air as a way of floating around, means he can box characters in quite consistently. And since his conversion ability is really consistent, he can get you from here to here realistically instantly if he doesn't choose to break the wall outright. But despite all these things, there's so many points where you can challenge Nago, right? So for example, the 2K2D having a gap. After 6K, / Beyblade. There are many points where you can actually choose to interact with Nago. There's more than what I've listed for sure. What these characters both excel at is threat. And because it's not forced, like guaranteed force, it's always going to be like on paper. Even if you hate it, you can't really say it's unfair because you can do stuff about it. Now, these two characters, the case is a little bit different. Jacko, at the beginning of the game, you know, she's fine. Like, when she touches you, she has to RPS. Her early game is, like, not, like, so great. But her potential in the late game is massive between having the multiple minions, using super. Not a lot of stuff you could do about this. But this is something that she generally only accesses in mid or late game. She doesn't have access to this immediately. HC similarly. So, despite his strength, he doesn't totally get his best stuff immediately. Again, he's more of a mid-late game monster. His main benefit is that since he converts everything, he can move the game to mid-game or late game pretty fast. So at the beginning of the round, he neither has this nor this. So he can't really zone you immediately. A lot of his non-interactable things happen because either he powered up or he broke the wall, which leads him to getting this. Which, as we tend to say, is like a checkmate situation. Like, there's really not much you can do about that. So, the things you'll tend to see get changed are more things that people have problems interacting with, or you can't interact with at all. Like, things that are, like, just straight up game ending. Things that you can do stuff about, they're not really going to touch. So, people usually are really quick to come at certain characters that, while really strong, like the way you'd have to change them is different than them just changing the thing that you want. Let me know what you guys think, though. I have a few more examples as far as modern games. I do want to keep it just like not too long. I think in old games, like the top tiers / broken characters, I don't really feel like it's on purpose. Obviously, I don't make the games, but like just a lot of the ones in my experience, it's usually just like accidents or like something that like someone didn't consider. So all these things together make the character like really crazy. It's a good and bad thing. How much dev intent we feel in the balance. It makes the games more fair, right? But on the other hand, some people say there's less room for creativity. But I mean, if it means there's less broken shit like overall, then I think it's fine. When the top tier character is the one where you can do stuff about it, but you die when you're wrong, I'm like, is that actually like the worst thing? Think about last year. So like last year, Soul's top tier. I mean, he's the definition of a mid dispenser. Like he's got +2 mid, and he's gonna throw you. When he gets resource, you're kind of memed. But like, you know, do you prefer that? Or do you want to sit out here and play Halo 2 with Happy Chaos, right? Like they had to specifically nerf this and how this works in order to make sure that more characters don't get locked out the game by him. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.